All right. What's up? What's up? What's up? My name is Kiana Peebles. However, on this channel, it is Key. Why? Because I don't know, my dad gave me that name when I was very young, and it just rings with my friends and family. Not really so much my family anymore, but more so my friends. However, I feel like the Lord's like, use it to your advantage. How? Because keys are principles, principles and lessons that the Lord gives us to unlock doors in our life that He has given us promise over, victory over, that He's led us to by the Spirit after obedience. So today, I guess you're wondering, what's the first key? Well, guess what? It is surrender. Today, God wants to talk to us about surrendering. And actually, the question is not even, are you surrendered? It's, are you consistently, that word consistency, whew, don't it take us on a roller coaster consistently? Are you consistently following the Lord? Yes, I am looking up the definition so we can all be on the same page. Consistent, acting or done in the same way over time, especially so as to be fair or accurate, unchanging in nature, standard. It is this standard or effect over time. Okay? Consistent. That is consistent. Someone that is steady, continually doing something, and has an unchanging nature. The Father is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. He's unchanging. So if God is surrendered and He has told us and showed us and been the blueprint of surrender, what's missing? Why is it that we always seem to just be like, but God, this, I need to do this, and I know you told me to surrender here, but how is that going to work for there? I've seen the plan. You gave me pieces. It doesn't make sense. But what makes sense and what's given us, the joy, the excitement to jump into, surrender to you is my plan, not yours. Well, today He is saying that's not going to work. And that's why you're in the place that you're in now, because you don't listen. You like instruction without wisdom, or you love wisdom without instruction. You can't have one without the other. So, consistent surrender. How do we get to consistent surrender? I think it is perfectly said in Luke. Let's go to Luke. Yes, if you are not a believer of Jesus Christ and you've never read a Bible, not an insult nor disrespect to you, but it is in the Bible. You will need the Bible app, the physical Bible, Holy Bible, not any other religion's Bible. You got to get that Holy Bible. All right, so Luke 9:23. Then he said to the crowd, if any of you wants to be my follower, any of you wants to be my follower. I'm a language teacher, so when words come up that I feel like the Holy Spirit is highlighting, I'm going to go to it in the Bible. I mean, not in the Bible, in the dictionary, so that we're all on the same page. So, what is follower? I know the first thing when you think about follower, naturally, innately, you're going to think social media, everybody that considers themselves my friend, everybody that follows me, the ones that come onto my channel to see everything about me, but nothing about reality. Yeah, followers. Well, not according to the Lord. According to the Lord, and I'm going to do follower in the Strong's Concordance. That is pretty much like a biblical dictionary, so it's going to give us the biblical insight for it. But it takes me to the Blue Letter Bible. That's an app that I use on my phone too to kind of help study sometimes. But follower, what is a follower? What is a real follower? Like, what does the Lord mean about a follower? That means an imitator, someone that imitates something. Imitation. So when you imitate, it's kind of like that game we used to play as a kid. Simon says, yes, Simon says, put your hand on your nose. Simon says, do a backflip, stomp your foot. If you stomped your foot, you're out. That's pretty much what imitation is. I'm sorry, I play way too much. But yes, that's what imitation is. It's someone that literally does the exact same thing that they see. Whatever they see, whatever they hear, whatever the image is, they do it. Or if they're told to do something as an instruction. But most of the time, when you think about imitation, it's mostly also like what we do every day. Like, even if you watch the news, let's say, oh no, I have like no bias against anybody or anything. If you watch the news long enough, even if you think that you don't, you have been swayed to imitate a way. So, follower. Now, the natural definition, which I think it'll also help us as well. The meaning of following, gosh, Key, get your life together. Yeah, this is wild. Okay. An adherent or devotee of a particular person, cause, or activity. A person who moves or travels behind someone or something. But I like that word devotee. 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 When someone's devoted to something, oh my man, they be disciplined, they be set, they not deviating, they're not going in any other direction. When they are devoted, when you know a devoted person, they stick to it. Somebody tells them, "Oh, can you come, out on Friday at 5?" Nope, I gotta pray. Nope, I got basketball. Nope, th- look at an athlete. Look at some of the greatest athletes devoted to that sport. They'll miss out on dinner, some nice, steak dinner, whatever their favorite pastry is. They didn't call Kobe Mamba for no reason. My man was in the gym morning, noon, and night. When nobody else was there, he was there. That's devotion. He was committed, submitted, and obeyed. Like he did everything to make sure he was at the top because he was devoted to basketball. Devoted, fam. He was devoted. So when you're thinking about surrendering, you got to think about somebody that's devoted. When you're consistently surrendering to something, you're unchanging about how you stay doing that thing, whatever it is, whatever it takes. You have a high level of discipline to make sure you're at every practice. You're with whomever you have to be with at every time frame. You're prepping at night. You done ironed out your Nike boxers. You done made sure you got the Nike socks. You make sure you got the nice fit. Like everything is prepped. You prep for it so that when it's time to produce, you are set. Well, that's a level of surrender that God desires for us. And right now, we're not doing a good job at it. We're not surrendered to the Lord. We have not given up our own way because our own way requires us to be an enemy of God. If we are giving up our own way, then 9 times out of 10, it's going to be painful. It's going to be annoying. You're going to cry often. It's going to be that word. What's that word? What's that? Suffering. You're going to suffer often. Have you seen athletes? Like I watch track people. I can't even talk. I watch people that run track often, and I was watching. I don't really want to call it a documentary, but it was something on Prime. I forget her name. Oh, I feel so bad, but she's a great Olympic athlete for Nike, and I mean, my girl devoted, devoted to doing. I don't even know how long the distance was, but it was something under like 5 minutes or something. It was a record that she was trying to break. And I watched this whole thing day in, day out. She sacrificed and gave up time with her family, time with friends, time with the things that like the pleasures that we all enjoy on a daily basis. She gave it up to get to this point and still miss the mark, but okay with it and said, you know what, I'm going to train even harder. And as long as I live, she is going to get, well, in her sense, as long as she lives, she's going to continue to devote because her eyes are on the prize. beating that time in under 5 minutes. That's the level of devotion. Relationships might break, desires will be crushed, plans out the window. Life is not going to look like it was before you said, yes, I'm going to devote to you, Lord. Because you know why? Because that's what He said He required. You have to give up everything you own to follow me. I know it doesn't sound desirable. I know it's not what we expect, what we want. It's not, it doesn't like give you that feels. It's like, but why? Why should I surrender? What's in it for me? That's usually the first thing that we think about. Unless you're one of those selfless people that, always think about other people before you think about yourself. But I'm not that person. I'm growing to be that person now, but yeah, I wasn't that person. So if any of you wants to be my follower, a devoted person, someone that's strictly and he said my follower. So that is distinguishing that you're Jesus's follower, not Muhammad's, not Allah. I'm not going to go down the list. I'm okay. We're already disrespecting King. All right. So Jesus's follower, you must give up your own way. What is my own way? Well, when you want to do what you want to do, anything that's really not going to bring a soul to heaven, that's your own way. If you're honest with yourself, you going to that school isn't going to keep you, excited about bringing souls to Christ, or is it going to deviate that plan? Is it going to have you thinking about yourself, thinking about what you want, what you're missing out on, how your friends are doing X, Y, and Z? Is it going to keep you in the clique and in the mindset and with the anxiety that you currently have that you're hiding from your friends? Surrender. Surrender. No, though not simple, it's a requirement. Though not simple, it is a requirement. So we have to take up our crosses daily, 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 daily. I know y'all probably are following the pattern now, don't you think? Daily. Yeah, we're gonna look up daily. What does daily mean? Daily, Lord, help me, help me. Daily. Daily means done, produced, or occurring every day. Every, not some, not a few, not like 2 or 3, not 6, no, 7 days out of the week, daily, every day, every week, every month, every hour, every minute, every millisecond, daily. It doesn't take all that. Okay, tell me that in about 2 years if you're still in the same place. So, daily. Pick up your cross daily and follow me. Follow me. Follow me. God says it in a more loving way. Please do not depict the way that you know, I kind of want to call it humor, but it's probably not as funny, but it is what it is. So, daily, we're picking up our cross daily, we're following Him, and we are desiring to surrender. Why? Why, you say? Every morning of every day, we have a choice, and we have only two. You're either going to turn to your left and say, enemy, Kiana, friends, what we doing today? Scrolling on that tickety talk, sliding that Instagram, probably even on YouTube. And even if it's a sermon, it's still not Jesus. There's something called secret place. You know that time, that intimate time you spend with someone you love, like desire, love, like you want to get to know, like You doing all the things. Yeah, you're doing all the things because you're trying to woo them because you want to keep them, right? You want to stay in their good graces. You want to stay connected to them. If you're in a relationship, if that's your wife or your husband, 9 times out of 10, you want to stay married, right? You want to stay dating that person. You want to stay engaged. Well, guess what? Same concept for the Lord. Or you can take the door to the right and be like, Jesus, it's been a tough week. Last night wasn't all, it wasn't me. I wasn't all the way there, but I'm grateful for the fact that your mercies are new every morning. So help me. Holy Spirit, you said you lead and guide into all truth. Wake me up and lead me into the Bible verse, into the word, into your presence at the end of the day. Like, I need the presence of the Lord. And Lord, I can't do this on my own. Clearly, for the past 3 weeks, I've been in disobedience and I have not been following what you said to follow. So I need help. I need help. Like, I genuinely need help because I'm faking it to make it. I'm just doing all the churchy things, or I'm not doing any of the churchy things in my life. Looks like hell right now. And I just want an ounce of joy. I understand that every day I'm not going to all the time want to smile, but I trust the fact that you are joy, that you are the smile, that you are enough, that you can fulfill this empty space inside of me. That's what surrender will do for you if you take the door to the right. The door to the left is your own way. The door to the right requires a cross. The door to the left is easy, it's wide, it's comfortable, it's filled with people, it's giving concert, it's giving entertainment, it's giving itching ear, it's giving, oh my goodness, I could be here all my life. It's giving it's giving mirage, it's giving mirage in paradise, right? It's giving peace, it's giving joy, it's giving intentional friends, it's giving worship, it's giving presence, it's giving life, it's giving true paradise, it's giving Eden effects, So you choose. Every day you get to pick that. And yes, I understand every day we're not always going to be perfect and we will be swayed for some reason because we live in this flesh suit here. We will be swayed to go left. But even if we go left, I pray that we have the mind of Christ, or that we pray for the mind of Christ, or we have grannies and mamas and daddies and brothers and sisters that's praying for us to remember that we don't belong in that wide space, that left space, that selfish space. We belong in this selfless one where friends are real and intentional and are praying for you and are reaching out, and that you desire to contribute and reach out to and love on, and a place where you don't have to always say sorry to the people because they understand that we all fall, we all get into these ruts and these moments because walking with Christ, though fun, though counting it all joy, though is that thing that we're all looking to do, can also be complicated, and that we will all run into a time where we need his grace and mercy, which is why we always seem to look like the weak religion. But no, like, it's intentional. Like, love is intentional, leading with love is intentional, even if it doesn't look like the love of the world. Like, we have a standard, and it starts with consistent surrender. So, story time. Real quick story that hopefully brings God glory. All right, story time. So, everybody remembers, or hopefully most of y'all know Moses. If you don't, go read about Moses. Moses was that guy, that boy. Like this morning, my pastor, when we were in prayer, he was talking about Moses and how, well, not fully about Moses, more about Joshua, because we did Joshua 1, verse 3 through, ooh, maybe it was 2. It's either 2 through 5 or 3 through 5. But Moses had just died. And the Lord was like, Joshua, I called you to be the leader, and you got to take everything on, but understand, like, I'm not going to leave you. I'm not going to forsake you. I'm actually, let me not even be that trashy because I don't like people not knowing specifically what a scripture says, because hopefully it'll entice you to go read the whole story. But yeah, Moses was that guy, even though he was a punk at first, which we all, I think, at one point are punks. I can speak for myself and say, yes, when the Lord has called me to do something that's outside of my comfort zone and I've never seen a blueprint to, I'm terrified. Sometimes I go scared, sometimes I'm like, nah. And even though I smile today, trust and believe, I'm doing this with tears in my eyes on the inside. But yes, he read Joshua 1, verse 3. Every place that the sole of your foot will tread upon, I have given you, as I said to Moses, from the wilderness in this Lebanon, as far as the great river, the river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites, and to the great sea toward the going down of the sun shall be your territory. No man shall be able to stand before you all the days of your life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. And I'm telling you, I won't even do it justice if I even try to explain the way Moses and the Lord walk with each other. Like, if only. AI could never. Anyway, so no, as I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will not leave you nor forsake you. Be strong and of good courage. For to this people you shall divide as an inheritance the land which I swore to their fathers to give them. Only be strong and be very, very, you know that word very in the English language, it actually permits and requires you to think about emphasis. Like somebody, imagine somebody saying a word twice. Courage, courage, courageous, courageous. Like they're saying it to make sure like you get it deep, deep, deep down in your soul. That's what that very word means. So only be strong and very courageous, that you may observe to do according to all the new law that which Moses, my servant, commanded you. Do not turn from it to the right hand or the left hand or to the left, that you may prosper wherever you go. This book of the law shall not depart from you. You know how that surrender thing was saying unchanging, unchanging, like daily, that daily word? Yeah, that's what this is saying. This book of the law. What book of the law, Lord? The Bible, the full thing too. Genesis all the way to Revelation, the maps, the appendix, the table of contents will get your family saved, fam. Yes. For then you will make your way prosperous. And then, see, after you do that, surrender thing, that commit, that pick up your cross daily thing, yeah, after all of that, guess what your promise is? Guess what your reward is? Oh my gosh, let's get excited, guys. Yes, your promise and your reward is the fact that after you meditate on it day and night, that you will observe it to do according to all that is written in it, for then you will make your way prosperous. Everybody likes prosperity. Look at America. Everybody loves our prosperity. Well, make your way. This is not a teaching on prosperity, by the way. Not to say the Lord does not prosper. I feel like a lot. No, we're not going to go there, Kiana. Okay, so we'll make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success. You will have good success. Have I not commanded you? Have I not commanded you? This is what the Lord has said. Have I not commanded you? Have I not commanded you? Be strong and of good courage. Do not be afraid, nor be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Guess how you get that? Surrendering first. Joshua had to surrender to the fact that the Lord said, Moses is dead. You are now the leader. Are you going to take on that leadership, or are you going to be a punk, shrink back, and do what you want to do? Because you have thousands on you. And trust and believe, though he did not say it. If you don't, you will go to a very hot place. You will definitely burn up. Your name will never be known. You want all the things. You will not be in the book of life. If you operate in disobedience, be understood that that is the other option, and I will raise someone else up amongst the Israelites, fam. Though I think sometimes we can always say, like, I don't even really care. Like, raise somebody else up. I don't even want it anyway. But let's be real. Let's be honest. Let's be truthful. Let's be self-aware. We all love good things. We all love fun things, because if we didn't, we would not take the desires of the world. But God is telling you that He is fun. He has fun things. That's why he says, count it all joy, because even when you are being persecuted for his sake, there's glory rising over you that is overtaking you, that's giving you a special, specific position in heaven that you can't even think. Like, even if you think about the grandest, the great, like all the things that you would desire in this world, because everybody has things that we desire, whether you want to be humble, fake humble, or real humble and really in humility. We all have things that we desire. But think about the greatest vacation, the greatest house that you can think of, the greatest car, if you're a car, whatever your thing is, if it's jewelry, if it's nature, if it's art, whatever it is, think about the most beautiful, I mean, the top tier, like the top tier, like nothing can beat it. Top tier of the top tier of the top tier thing. Think about that. It's blown because heaven blows it to obliteration. We can't even think on the level of the things that God desires to give us. It's so minuscule. Like the stuff that we think about, it's like it's not there. God says, I'm the God that does exceedingly abundantly above all that you could think or ask. So if your mind is thinking it's him, you blown, blown. It is blown to smithereens because God is so good in the things that he has for you and me as we submit to surrendering consistently. What that looks like, how that is. We have to desire it, we have to want it, but we have to also get to that place of surrender. I feel like I did not get to really much of what I was immediately supposed to talk about. But this, you have to surrender the moment you wake up in the morning. Are you going left or are you going right? Are you going left or are you going right? That's the question of the day. Are you going left or are you going right? Surrender. It requires obedience. Obedience is protection. And if we really think about it, Jesus was the example first. And the only way you stay consistent is if you get in a pattern. And guess what? There's a pattern of the world and there's a pattern in Christ. There's a pattern in heaven. You get to choose that every single day. How, you ask? Through obedience. What you obey, that is where you will stay. So understand that. If you are in a place in your life right now where you don't like what's going on and how things are going, because that technically, let me not say that. Because sometimes God will have you in places and spaces you don't like and uncomfortability because he's trying to work on something in you. So chill out. But there's got to be a pattern of obedience in order for you to get into that place of consistent surrender because it leads to things. We love to sit in the place of, there's steps to this, by the way. This is not like, surrender, got it. Yeah, it's so easy. No, there's steps to this. And the first one is always suffering. It's always suffering. The moment you say, all right, I'm going to try out this surrender thing with the Lord, please understand. Christian alert, 101 alert, but to the people in the back, all the one, you're gonna suffer. 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 I'm gonna say it loud. You're gonna suffer. You're gonna suffer. But please do not stay there. Don't stay in suffering. Suffering, yes, it's going to come. It's a part of the process. And you want to know why you're suffering? Because you're getting out, you're removing, you're letting go of things that you loved, desired, you were married to. You're literally detaching and killing. You know that word die? Yeah, oh dang, I don't know if I'm not saying it. Unalive. I hate the fact that people changed it to unalive. Unalive, you have to unalive to yourself. If you know, you know at this point. I can't say that the other way. But you gotta unalive yourself. Like you literally, and I don't mean like go out and kill yourself. Scripturally, it means to no longer give or feed your flesh. Like continue to give into the desires of your flesh. You're literally feeding your spirit. How do you feed your spirit? something that's probably boring to you. This Bible thing, yeah, it's not everybody's cup of tea, which is why we're still out here evangelizing and trying to draw people to Christ. But that's food for your spirit. And guess what? When you're eating and chewing on that, the desires of your heart dwindle. They eventually just dissolve because you're now taking on the heart of your Father, of Christ, the one that loves you. And everything in your environment, because we live in a fallen world, it is literally going to feel like you're by yourself. You might even isolate for a little bit, but stay. This is where community comes into place, and this is that's a whole nother message. I don't want to jump into that. Today we're strictly saying surrender. 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 Yes, you have to humble yourself. Get in a place of humility. The Bible in 1 Peter 5:6 says, "So humble yourselves under the mighty power of God, and at the right time, He will lift you up." Trust in the process, trust in His timing. And I know that's easier said than done. Trust me, this is somebody that's talking about this 2 years later and like still teeter tottering, but fully like submitted and enjoying and loving the Lord. Hey, your surrender, your surrender. If you thought that you weren't really getting anything out of this, like if you love anybody in your life, if you love anybody around you, if you desire for anyone around you to understand true submission and true surrender and come to understand who Christ is, they will most likely be able to see him more in you. This is where that imitation comes in. Because your surrender will cause other people to do Simon Says with you, and it won't even actually be a game, it'll be reality in real life. You are literally a picture of surrender for somebody. You're a picture of saving grace for somebody. You're that image that needs to be in their head to see daily how to continue to pick up their cross and follow the Lord. And I know that feels like a weighted responsibility, but understand like the Lord is guiding you, and you don't have to be intentional about the people that's looking. You just have to be intentional about your own walk and making sure you stay aware and you stay in his presence and you stay submitted and committed to him. But your surrender should be a sacrifice that provokes betrayal. We're going to talk about the betrayal word because that right there, when the Lord was breaking this down to me, the yay. Yes, your surrender should be a sacrifice that provokes betrayal to cover someone else. Your surrendering is powerful, fam, which is why the enemy is out here right now trying to grab anybody's. Do you not realize right now in the world the enemy is using technology and has been using, let me not just say now, but has been using any and everything to make you surrender to a counterfeit spirit, a counterfeit way. And I want to say something so bad, but I feel like this might not make it and stay on, the as a video because one day, but hopefully if you know. The greatest person besides Jesus, besides God, I think that displayed surrender in like the best way was Moses, fam. The way Moses surrendered, that man looked like in modern day, like if we knew Moses and looked at his characteristics and read like how he was, people would have called him a simp, a punk, um, like they literally, that's not a man that most men would have followed after or would follow after based off of the way that he carried himself, he walked, like he looked like a very weak man, but it was because he wasn't operating in his own strength, he was operating in the strength of the Lord. He embraced his weaknesses so that God could be strong in him. But a specific instance I want to talk about is him and Aaron. So if you don't know, Aaron was his brother, and at the end of the day, every time at the beginning when he first met the Lord, and the Lord was like, "Go out and speak and go tell Pharaoh to let my people go," he was like, "Wait, Lord, I can't." I'm paraphrasing. I'm not saying I'm not going to give you these. I want you to go read this story. But he's like, I can't, Lord. Like, I can't solve. You see, I got a stutter. You gave me the stutter. Da, 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 da. The Lord's like, I'm going to make sure that everything goes right in so many ways. Like, I got everything else. Just trust me and do what I told you to do. And eventually he was just like, okay, but I can't talk. Like, you still got the stutter. He's like, all right, fine. I want to talk to you specifically, but tell your brother Aaron and have Aaron speak for you. But every single time you're going to come back to me and we're going to pretty much be Moses was the middle person between God and the people. And Aaron was pretty much like the first person, technically, we were going to say so. But they were going at Pharaoh, let my people go, yada, yada, yada. So eventually, they do get released. They go to the mountain. I think we all pretty much, hopefully, if there's any new believers, bear with me. Definitely go read the story. But eventually, they make it out into the wilderness. Well, Aaron got a little cocky, and while Moses was up in the mountain with the Lord, Aaron decides that because the people tells my man, we want a God. Clearly, Moses and the Lord, they off doing some other things. They forgot about us. They ain't even trying to do nothing for us. We want a God. We need a God. So he took golden calves and gold. He took gold, all their jewelry, and made a golden calf for them to follow a false God. Spoiler alert, anybody following idolatry right now, you're going to hell if you don't repent. So, but he made a golden calf and they started worshiping this golden calf. The Lord immediately got word of it and was like, do you see what this, the words I want to say? I can't. They down here disrespecting me in so many ways. So Moses is like, oh man, let me hurry up and go down here and figure out what they're doing. Like, yada, 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 this kind of thing. So he goes down and he's like, what is going on? Who did all this? Aaron admits it. Glory. Most people would have straight lied. Aaron was like, "Hey, who I got to lie to?" He knew. I knew he'd been with the Lord. I can't lie to nobody. So he tells him, "Hey, it was me. I made the golden calf because they asked for it. They asked for it, so I did it. It is what it is." Moses is like, "All right, now we gotta chop some people up. Anybody that's for the Lord, come on our side. Anybody that's not for the Lord, stay over there in whatever area." People that chose. Aaron, of course, came on the smart side. He came on the side of the Lord. He told everybody, Moses told everybody that's on his side for the Lord to go kill everybody else. Kill them. Whether it's your mama, daddy, sister, brother, baby, whatever, you have to slaughter them right now. So all that happens. Finally, we come back to the fact that Aaron's life just got saved, even though he deserved death. I just want you to know that. Because my man's literally did what he knew was not supposed to be done for the sake of listening to somebody else. So keep that in mind. Moses just spared Aaron's life. Okay? A couple chapters down, probably not too far down. Him and Aaron and Miriam decide to want to disrespect Moses. And was like, man, how come it's only Moses that can talk to God? Like he can talk to us too. After let's not forget, when they first came to the mountain, everybody was like, including Aaron and Miriam, nah, let Moses talk to him because we're too scared. Like the Lord is doing too much. He's a little too much for us. Like I can't handle all this thunder, lightning, dark. Like no, we need to just we'll talk to Moses. Moses talks to us, and we go back and forth. That crushed the Lord's heart. I know it crushed the Lord's heart. But God's going to give you what you want because at the end of the day, He's not going to override your will. Glory, He's a gentleman. So, anyways, he goes back, and Aaron and Miriam are like, "No, we can talk to the Lord on our behalf on the third." Now Moses is like, "Man, I ain't even finna get into none of this. If that's how y'all feel, that's how y'all feel. I still love y'all." God is pissed. Like, think about that daddy whose kids is being bullied and they really love their kids. Because I understand everybody's dad don't love their kids, but the ones that genuinely be out here for like put a bullet in somebody's head for their kids, that was God. He was out here like, have you what you've clearly lost your home. Did you not? You both of y'all belonged in death a couple like literally a couple days ago, last week, and it was because of Moses that I spared your life. Moses. And you have the nerve, the audacity, the one that I talked to face and mouth to mouth, nobody else, no other prophet has ever done that. My friend, my boy, you lost your mind. So they forget. Guess what? Moses is still on his knees, like, Lord, wait. You said you weren't going to kill your people. Like, you're going to have everybody else in the land thinking that you're crazy or thinking that you're a horrible God because you're killing people. Like, you don't give them a chance. Like, give them a second chance and third. He was like, I'm still mad. Fine. I'm gonna spare Aaron, but she gonna get this disease. Miriam got a disease, leprosy, I think it was. Don't quote me for a little bit, and then, but just listen to that. Moses was so surrendered that even when someone betrayed him, he got on his knees and he prayed. He prayed, and not only did that elevate him, so betrayal is promotion. Gosh, I'm going into a whole nother. Yeah, his surrender carried people. His surrender saved people. His surrender kept him in relationship with the Lord in a way that literally nobody on earth had ever been in relationship with the Lord other than Enoch. Enoch was taken out, before, well, what I consider before his time, but early, but because he was, walking blameless before the Lord. So you have to get to a level of surrender that's like no other. That's selfless. That literally brings in the power of God for everyone around you. Surrender. Surrender. All right. Because this is going to be pretty much like a series, but not a series, because I know everybody's attention span for one is like 6 minutes long, but ultimately because I feel like the Lord wants to break this down, because this would take like about 4 or 5 hours if I actually tried to break down surrender. But I just pray that at the end of this, everybody sees like the first step of surrendering will require suffering. The first step of surrendering will require suffering, and be prepared to be betrayed. But your response to betrayal will, like, how do I want to say that? Your response to betrayal will determine how close you stay with the Lord. Like, you can do all of that. You can surrender. You can be consistently surrendered. And you can even suffer, for Christ. But how you respond to the way someone betrays you will determine if you stay in the presence of the Lord or you distance yourself from the Lord. Because oftentimes God is the one that sent the betrayal. Like, he went through betrayal first. And even through that, he still prayed for his betrayer. Like, their actions don't constitute how we stay surrendered to God. So remember that. Like, it starts with suffering, but we're not going to stay in suffering, because guess what comes out of suffering? Humility. Humility. And humility, if you only knew the joy that it brings when you suffer with God, it's out of this world. Like, we're going to talk about that, but surrendering. Surrender now and surrender to Jesus. Surrender with people, Lord, my dog. Surrender, surrender with people. Surrender around a community that you love. And sometimes your surrender it will oftentimes start off by yourself. Like, even when Jesus left his mother and father's house to start his ministry, like, he was by himself for a little bit, but eventually it drew him into community. So surrender, embrace the suffering, and be prepared for a heart, a mind, and a change into humility. All right, y'all. So that is the principle of the day, the key to consistent surrender. Is to prepare to suffer, prepare to be in humility, prepare for change to happen, because that's really what it is. It's just a change in you. And if you embrace change, you're able to take it on in a different way. You're able to respond in a different way. When you like reject change, and I think this can speak for anybody, you have more problems. Like, there's freedom in it. That's why God says count it all joy. He didn't say count the good things joy. He didn't say count a few things joy. No, he said even the bad, even the suffering, even when it's, because he's breaking down barriers. He's breaking down every part where you think you are dependent on you. And he's making you a child again, a mature one, but childlike. You have to depend on the one who told you to surrender in the first place. You're just doing what somebody told you to do. And then you're receiving wisdom with it. As you obey the instruction, also obey the wisdom that comes with it. Where does wisdom come from? Community, church, other people. Yes, the instruction comes from the Father, but his bride, our mother, is the church. So surrender. Surrender, fam. Surrender. All right. Until next time, I'll see y'all later. All right, y'all. Bye.